It's the big JT, the big man himself, coming from the upstairs of my house. As you can see, I have a white backdrop, have some nice paneling wood underneath that, a couple closed doors. It's my house, it's where I live. What I was going to talk about initially was how I met my wife, but that's really... then all of a sudden I went a different direction. And that video is just going to sit in the annals of my hard drive for a while. I think what I want to talk about more, though, is this idea of waiting on the Lord and patience. You know, I was 27 when I first went to college. I had to wait from the time that I was told I was going to go to college. I had to wait 2 years to go. I always knew I was going to get married, but I had to wait until I was 31 to get married. I had to wait 7 or 8 months before I got my first radio job out of college. And even that's just part-time. And like I said, this is not going to be a Woe Is Me series of videos. But there's something important going on there. There's an important trend there. And that is in this idea of waiting for what the Lord has. You know, I could shout against the darkness and I can push against the wall that I'm in front of, and it's just not going to do anything. And that's why I'm making these videos, is just to do something. But you know, I could keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing, and I can find something that the Lord doesn't have for me, and that something that makes me royally unhappy, gets in my way with my relationship with Christ, gets in my way with relationship with my people. And generally gets in my way. And I just want to say, we can all do that. We can all make what we got about money. But love of money is the root of all evil. So there's got to be something more we got to be chasing after in our careers, in our lives with Christ, in our lives with our spouses, in our lives with each other. There's got to be more than just money. Maybe there's dreams, and there's hopes, and there's aspirations. During the middle of worship, I don't know how many times I'd be told I'd be one of the most powerful men in Christian radio, and just become powerful. So, and I'm waiting on that. I think it's important to be patient in this time. You know, because I can do whatever else. You know, I can work at APAC for $8.25 an hour. We can move out of here, but I can be unhappy, and I can take that out on my wife, or I can take that out on my, not going to church or not following the Lord my God anymore. Or I can find something that makes me happy and something that gives me joy, like listening to music and like playing music, and talking about music and talking about movies and talking about Lord my God. You know, if I kept working at APAC, I would not have been able to participate probably in Rock the Lakes. I would not have wanted to participate in Rock the Lakes, which was a great night for me. I mean, I had a complete softening of my heart. You know, if I kept working at APAC, I would not want to be involved in the way I am with my church, because APAC would have taken so much time out of me. So I'm kind of glad in a way that I'm not working there right now. I mean, the money would be nice. The money would have been very, very nice. But like I said, there's more to life than money. And if we keep saying that we need to make money, then we're going to miss some points. Now, we need money to live, but also the Lord our God says that He is our provision, that He will provide for us. Why do you worry about, clothes that you wear, the food that you'll eat, when I feed the birds of the air, I clothe the grass of the field, I have it all under control. So why do you worry about money? Now, granted, me and my wife have, we're sending out probably half the paycheck in bills, but we still have enough gas to make it to work and back. We still have enough to feed ourselves. And that's what the Lord is providing right now, is that we have somewhere to live. We have somewhere, we have food on the table. Now we just got to be content in this situation. I'm still waiting on what the Lord has for me. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to wait, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to wait. I'm going to keep throwing out my resume like it's seeds on the field. I'm still going to take my opportunities when I see them. I'm not going to completely sit back and do nothing. But I can't be only worried about money, because I know what that's going to do. I'll be serving two masters at that point. I can't serve both of them. And that's all I really wanted to talk about, is waiting and being content with where you are, because we're right where the Lord needs us to be. I'm able to be involved at the church and do things like the men's breakfast, and I'm able to speak on Tuesday night, not be too burned out from work to do that. Money is not the biggest thing. And I know guys that are, they have a great job and they're where they're supposed to be. But that's not where I'm supposed to be right now. That's all I'm going to say about that. If you guys need anything from me, if you guys need some prayer for me, leave me a message on the comment on YouTube. If you want me to talk about a specific subject, we'll see what I can do. I usually just go wherever the Spirit leads me on these videos. If you want to hear about how me and my wife met a little bit more, I might do a video on that. We'll see where that one goes. And I do want to apologize for the darkness of the video. I was relying on the sun for natural light, but then the sun decided to disappear behind some clouds. So this video is gonna be a little dark, but you don't really need to see me anyway. Let's face facts. You don't need to see me. So I hope y'all have a great week. I might do another video over the week about something. If you guys want to help me with this endeavor, because I do want to talk to musicians, I will take donations. What I want to do is I want to be able to have a phone interview with various musicians, various artists. For that, I need adapter 2, and those are like $150 to $200. I think that would really help my career out a lot if I could do those. And like I said, I'm doing this for fun. I'm not doing this for money. I'm just going to sit and ramble for 10 minutes. That's pretty much what I'm going to do with these videos. But I'm done. It's almost dinner time. I'm hungry. I'm going to make some food. Y'all have a great week. Have a great night. God bless. Peace.